So with that, everybody, meet my guest, Iona Bird. Welcome to the show, Iona.
Thank you, Nick. It's really great to be here.
Oh, I love the kind of impact your company does. And when I first discovered A2X and I started, using it myself and then referring different sellers to it, and usually I would be involved in setting up. And one thing immediately I noticed is your support is like it's fairly prompt, even though there's this whole distance. It's fairly prompt, and it's always ladies. It's always ladies, and so that's the first thing I want to know. How many men? What percentage of the team is men, and what percentage is women?
Overall, it's a great split. Overall at A2X, we are, close to 50-50, but we're a bit higher on the female side, which is a nice representation. In the CS team, you're right. We are heavily represented by females, but we do have like a number of males on our team in all different locations. So we've got people in US, Philippines, Canada, Australia. So we've got men around there. But as I say, in customer success, it sort of is heavily concentrated with females. But throughout A2X, it's a really great, nice split between genders.
So for my listeners, I want to set up the conversation today. So A2X handles all the accounting related stuff and takes away the burden of dealing with complex numbers. So we're going to talk about numbers, but what I want to do is I want to put this subject on the table on every seller's radar screen, because selling on Amazon is getting more and more complicated, more expensive. And at the end of the day, you want to make numbers your friend, and numbers have to tell the story and the performance of your operation. And without getting accurate numbers, you don't know what you're doing. So that's why A2X or something like A2X that tells you accurately what you are doing and whether or not your operation is making money, and your inventory value compared to your whole operation is healthy and things like that. So we're gonna get into that. But what I want to do is, Ellen, I want to start with you. First, tell us, why is this so important? Why can't this be done in a simple way with Excel or whatever? Because at the end of the day, it's what you sold and how much you bought, and that's pretty much it. I mean, I'm simplifying, obviously, but give us at a high level, why is Amazon accounting different and important?
Yeah, for sure. So Amazon accounting is a lot more complex than traditional retail accounting or any kind of other accounting. And that's because, so with, say, a brick and mortar store, all of the transactions and things that are occurring happen in the bank account. So as a business owner, you would be, paying your rent or, making a sale, and there'd be a clear tie in that transaction. You'll say, all right, that's where the money came in and that's what it was for. With Amazon, so obviously Amazon's amazing because it handles so much of that all of those operational activities. But because of that, they charge fees. They charge lots of different types of fees. And all of these transactions occur within Amazon, and then sellers are paid a net deposit into their bank account. Now, if you're just to look at that bank account number, it doesn't actually give you a lot of information about what has gone on. And it also doesn't match your revenue figures. So it's not what you actually sold, that's taken a whole lot of other things. And Amazon tracks over 400 different events before they make this payment into your bank account. So it's very different. And the complexity doesn't actually stop there. So all of these these settlements, they can span, they span multiple weeks. and they can span multiple months. So if you want to do comparisons on how you've gone month to month, if you sell in different regions, you've got different tax types. So there's all these kind of complexities that are opened when you do sell on Amazon, and you need to take the good with the bad. And so that's kind of in a nutshell why Amazon accounting is different to retail accounting or
Yeah.
other accounting.
Yeah, I mean, what I heard you say is something so significant. I'm gonna just put it in a different set of words. When you sell in anywhere, you know, whether you do wholesale, they write you a check. You cut an invoice, they write you a check. Or you sell in a retail store, you collect the cash, put it in the cash register and deposit. But when you sell on Amazon, the cash you receive is not your sale, right? It is the net deposit that is the net of a bunch of expenses deducted from it. And therefore, you have no idea what your gross sales are and what your expenses are just by looking at your deposit. And therefore, you have to figure out, okay, what was it that I sold and how many units and what was deducted from it. And that is where A2X comes in, that to simplify that process, because I've been in the Amazon space for about 20 years now, and there is no shortage of new expense codes appearing, right? There's always something new, always something new. So there's no like set up once and then forget it. There's always new expense codes because they are also changing their operation. They're charging now recently, as we record this, recently they introduced new FBA fees. So there's always new fees coming in. So you won't know whether you're making profit or not just by looking at your deposit, right? So that's the fundamental reason. Would that be right?
Absolutely.
Okay. So